Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Aprillia Arnita Putri, student number 035. So at the end of this semester's assignment, I will be playing the role of the student presentation. Let's go. So this is my topic, basic concepts of students management. Here are our subtopics. First, understanding what is student. Next, understanding what is student management functions, student management goals, student management principles, student management approach, and scope of student management. So moving on, our first topic is what is student? So we can review the definitions of students from several views of experts. First, according to law number 20 of 2003, article 1, paragraph 4, students are community members who try to develop their potential through a learning process that is available at certain paths, level, and types of education. Next, according to Arikunto 1986, students are anyone who is registered as a student object in an educational institution. According to Hermino 2016, students are individuals who consciously are to be able to develop the potentials that exist by studying for better future goals. So based on this explanation, it can be understood that a student is someone who is registered in a particular path, level, and type of educational institution who always want to develop their potential both in academic and non-academic. So our topic number 2, what is student management? So according to Gunawan 1996, is the whole process of activities that are planned and effort intentionally as well as continuous guidance for all students in the educational institutions concerned so that they can participate in the teaching and learning process effectively and efficiently in order to achieve the educational goals that have been set. And according to Imron 2016, student management is an effort to regulate students starting from the students entering school until they graduate. So based on the explanation, it can be concluded that student management is an effort to regulate, supervise, and serve various things that are related to students, so that students are able to achieve learning goals at school, starting from the student entering school until they graduate from school. Next, our topic number 3, what is student management goals? So according to Imron 2016, the specific objectives of student management in particular are as follows. First, improve the knowledge, skill, and psychomotor of students. 2. Channeling and developing general abilities, intelligence, talents, and interests of students. 3. Channeling aspirations, expectations, and meeting the needs of students. 4. By achieving the objectives in point 1, 2, and 3, it is hoped that students can be achieve happiness and prosperity in life, which can further study well and achieve their goals. So moving on to our topic number 4, what is student management functions? So according to RIFAI 2018, student management functions in more detailed scope are as follows. First, functions relating to the development of individuality of students. So these early functions are expected to make students able to develop their individuality potential without many obstacles. These potential include general abilities, namely intelligence, and special abilities, namely talents and other abilities. 2. Function relating to the development of social aspect of students. This function is closely related to nature of students as social beings. These functions make students to be able to socialize with their friends, parents, families, school environment and surrounding community. 3. Function related to channeling the aspirations and expectations of students. So these functions is expect to be able to make students able to channel their hobbies, pleasures, and interests because it can support the overall self-development of students. 4. Functions related to meeting the needs and welfare of students. So this function makes students prosperous in living their life. So our topic number 5, what is student management principles? The principles of student management described by the Ministry of Education and Culture 2013 are as follows. Student management is seen as part of the overall school management. All forms of student management must be aimed at carrying out educational missions and educating students. Student management activities should strive to unite students who have various backgrounds and many differences. Student activities must be seen as an effort to regulate student guidance. Student management activities must encourage and spur the independence of students. Student management must be functional for the lives of students, both at school and in the future. And last, the implementation of student management recognizes the characteristic of students, including intellectuals, interests, talents, personal needs, experience, and physical condition. Next, our topic number 6, what is student management approach? So according to RIFAI 2018, the approach to student management used to achieve the goals and functions of student management are as follows. First, quantitative approach. So this approach focuses more on the administrative of educational institutions. In this approach, students are expected to be able to meet the demands and expectations of the educational institutions where the students are located. Second, qualitative approach. So compared to a quantitative approach that aims to make students capable, this approach aims to make students happy and prosperous. Third, integrated approach. So this approach is combinations of quantitative approach and qualitative approach. In this approach, students are asked to meet various bureaucratic and administrative demands on school, and schools also offer other incentives that can meet the needs and welfare of students. Next, our last topic, topic number 7, what is scope of student management? So the scope of student management according to Imron 2016 are first, student planning. Student must be planned because with planning, everything can be thought of carefully by paying attention to all the aspects that surround it. In this way, problems that arise will be dealt with as soon as possible. 2, new student admission. So acceptance of new student is one of the most important student management activities. The acceptance of new student includes several stages. First, student admission policies. 2, student admissions system. 3, criteria for new student admissions. 4, new student admission procedures. And 5, the problem of accepting new students. Next, student orientation. So students who have re-registered then enter the student orientation period at school. This orientation is carried out from the first day of school. In this section consists of first, reason and limitations of student orientations, 2, objectives and functions of student orientations, 3, the first day at school, and 4, students orientations. Next, there's regulating the attendance and absence of students. So the presence of students at school is very important because if students are not present at school, of course, teaching and learning activities at school cannot be carried out. The presence of students are at school is a condition that allows teaching and learning interactions to occur. So students who have re-registered, they need to be grouped or classified. Classifications needed is not intended to compartmentalize students, but is actually intended to help their success. Activities included in these actions are first, urgency of grouping, two, grouping discourse, three, types of grouping, and four, grouping and measures. Next, regulating the evaluations of student learning outcomes. So evaluation of learning outcomes for students really need to be done so that their progress is known from time to time. Evaluation students' learning outcomes is intended to determine the extent to which students have been able to perform as expected. Activities include these sections are first, reasons for the need to evaluate student learning outcomes. Two, limits on evaluating students' learning outcomes. Three, evaluation techniques for student learning outcomes. Four, evaluation criteria for learning outcome students. And five, follow-up evaluation of student learning outcomes. Next, regulating the increase in the level of student. So class increase can be arranged according to the policies of each school. In the promotion of class problems often occur that require a wise solutions. This problem can be minimized if the data about the result of student evaluation are objective and utilize the functions. Also, teacher must be careful in giving the value of the result of the evaluation learning of student, and then managing transferred and dropout students. So mutations and dropouts often bring problems in the world of education. Therefore, both must be handled properly so they are not cause problem. So at the end, it will be interfere with school activities as a whole. Last, code of ethics, codes, penalties, and disciplines of students. Education is based on certain norms for students. These norms are rules require students to follow them. In addition, educators should also be leading examples in the terms of evidence to traditions and rules developed in educational institutions. So that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.